Stop focusing on looking rich and focus on actually getting rich. Stop worrying about symbols of success and focus on true success. There's too many people out here who would rather buy and put all of their energy into purchasing symbols of wealth instead of putting their money to work so they can actually have true wealth, true freedom, true economic abundance. See, in modern times, it's very easy. It's so easy to look successful, to look like you are economically well off with the easy credit, the payday loans, the credit cards, the high interest credit cards coming in the mail every day, the refinancing of homes, pulling the equity out of homes. It's easy to look the part now. And that's the most shameful thing, because this is what distracts most people from actually getting true wealth and freedom, because true wealth and freedom isn't flashy. It isn't a quick thing to achieve. It takes discipline. It takes a long-term mindset. It takes a little sacrifice in the short run. All sacrifice is giving up something of a lesser value so you can have something of a greater value in the long run. But too many people are worried about what other people think, worried about impressing other people with material objects. And at the end of the day, nobody really cares. Nobody's gonna help you pay off your debt. But it's easy to look rich nowadays. And that's really the lazy person's way out. Just go and accumulate a bunch of symbols of success instead of putting in the real work, the real determination, the investing, the sacrifice that it takes to become truly financially free. You know, most wealthy people, the vast majority of wealthy people, aren't flashy at all. You would never know it. The wealthier a person is, usually the less flashier they are. The more flashy a person is, normally the poorer they are, because they're trying to prove something through name brand, high-end, name brand goods that they couldn't afford, flashy cars they had to finance, big homes that they had to get 30-year, sometimes 40-year mortgages on. To be honest, if you have to go into debt to get any consumer good, then 99% of the time you can't afford it. If you can't pay cash, then you probably can't afford it. And even if you do pay cash, it would probably be wiser to purchase an income-producing asset that will make more money for you, make the money work for you. You see, true wealth is invisible. It's invisible. I mean, true wealth is you can't show it, you can't flash it. It's just a way of life. When somebody's a multi-millionaire, You can't see it. You can't really show it off. It's in the bank. It's in stocks. It's in rare artwork. It's in income producing. It's in a business. It's an income producing asset. So you can't necessarily put real wealth, true wealth in your hand and show it off to people. And that's the boring part that most people can't jive with or vibe with, so to speak. People want to prove that they're wealthy. They want to show everybody that they're successful. But if you can get out of that mindset of caring about what others think, then that's when you're free. That's when you're free to create boatloads of wealth. Because this is how the truly wealthy people think. They want to be under the radar, low key, because they're confident. They already have high self-esteem in their situation in life. They don't have anything to prove to anyone. I'm not saying that some wealthy people don't have nice things. It's okay to have nice things once you truly become wealthy, but I've noticed out of all the wealthy people I've met, and even with myself, the more wealth I accumulate, the less I want to show it. I've had all the big name brand clothing. I had a lot of flashy sports cars in my early 20s. I made the same mistake as many as the masses are making today. I made those mistakes in my early 20s, and I learned from that. None of that stuff made me happy. It's nice, but it's not worth trading your time for money. It's not worth going into debt for. It was just toys. It's like a kid at Christmas. He's happy with his toy for like maybe 2 days, and then he get bored with it. Toys don't make you happy in the long run. And that's all materialism. Big houses, flashy cars, name brand clothes, jewelry, etc. Those are just toys for adults. That stuff in itself doesn't make you happy in the long run. Especially if you go into debt to obtain them. What makes people truly happy is options, having options and freedom. Options and freedom to retire early if you choose to. And most people would. They say 80% of people are disengaged at work and don't enjoy their jobs. So most people would like to have that freedom, that option to retire. And maybe start a business centered around their passions full time. It gives you options to do what you want to do. Wealth gives you the best things wealth give you are options and freedom. Travel where you want to travel. Do what you want to do. Be around the people that you love. Basically, to be able to call your own shots in life. That's what true wealth gives you. But it's not tangible. It's not something you can really show off. Like materialism. But people will know. People know when they can smell true wealth in the air. They can smell when somebody walks by the beat of his or her own drum. And the thing is, on your path to becoming wealthy, when you shun away the hyper materialism, once you actually get rich and then you can truly afford what you want, you've built up the habit of being financially savvy for so many years you don't even want the luxury goods. That's the amazing thing. There's so many famous billionaires who drive very modest cars. One of the Walmart heirs drives a pickup truck worth billions of dollars. Warren Buffett, he always drives modest cars, used cars, still has the same home for the last 40 years in Nebraska. Zuckerberg, Facebook guy, worth 50 billion or so or more, drives a Acura, a modest car. And so on and so on. There's so many. You can Google billionaires with modest vehicles. I know a lot of rich people don't even have a vehicle. They just they just rent cars, or they have a driver, or they live in a dense environment where they can use public transportation. Because once you actually get rich, you're not worried about showing off anymore. You only purchase things that really bring value to your life. You get obsessed, you get more of a high. For me, I get more of a high from purchasing more income producing assets like dividend stocks and just building more and more passive income. That gives me more of a rush than any new car purchase or any big home ever could. That's just producing real wealth is the main event in your life once you become financially savvy. I have more fun shopping and researching dividend paying stocks than I would ever have shopping at the mall. So remember, just focus on getting rich, not looking rich. Focus on being successful, not looking successful. The book is The Secret to Prosperity, available on Amazon, and go to wealthmotivation.com for more great content.